Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Monday, the 2nd of September 2024. In today's Millwall news, we have some post transfer window closing comments because obviously the window closed on Friday. We had a game on Saturday that went well and it's kind of been lost in the ether. Well, now we have some questions about that being answered by the man who really has nothing to do with it, which he literally says himself. This is from the South London Press at londonnewsonline.co.uk. It was difficult for me. Mill boss disappointed to lose Zian Flemming on final day of transfer window. Neil Harris has expressed his disappointment at seeing Zian Flemming depart Mill on transfer deadline day. The Netherlands midfielder joined Burnley on a season-long loan, with the Clarets agreeing to a permanent transfer worth more than £7 million next summer. The deal represents a healthy profit for Mill, who had initially signed Flemming from Fortuna Sittard for £1.7 million in the summer of 2022. The Lions secured Serbian striker Mihailo Jovanovic before the cut-off for deals, with the 19-year-old becoming their new record signing. We've sold Zian Flemming for a healthy profit. I have to accept that as a head coach, said Harris. And that's the model that we're creating. It was difficult for me as a manager. I don't want to lose my most influential attacking player on the last day with no one to replace him other than Mihailo, who's come in and is going to be missing for 8 weeks. When asked how the deal came about, Harris explained, the bid came in late. They made a very good offer to the football club, and the club decided to sell, and I don't have say in matters like that. Here we go again. Very honest words that if you were that way inclined, if you were malevolent, you could say they had a bit of a barb to them, but maybe he's just being honest. Is that a dig? Again, I don't know, but obviously I'm reading the words, I haven't heard them. You don't hear which tone they're said in. I think he's trying to answer a question. He doesn't really know what's going on. And I'd imagine whoever wrote this was Alex Grace. If he tried to get an interview with Steve Gallen about the transfer window, that's probably not going to be forthcoming. So the public face of Millwall Football Club, which is Neil Harris, gets asked the questions and he has to answer them, even though it's literally not his job anymore. They literally call him head coach Harris. They don't call him manager Harris. He's the head coach, but he still has to answer the questions. So there you go. Interesting, so that no one to replace him. I am of the opinion that Romain Esse is his replacement. It's quite clear to see. And I would say that if Romain Esse didn't sign that extended contract, that I doubt that Flemming would be allowed to go. So some people at the club strongly believe that Romain Esse is as good as, or could be as good as, Zian Flemming, and that we let Flemming go because Esse's here. He signed the contract extension. It's time for him to step forward and grow and prove himself. And I think so far so good. He's doing pretty good so far, no? So there you go. Now, obviously, another question, and we got another answer. This time from southernnews.co.uk. Lions gaffer reveals Emakhu came close to loan exit. Neil Harris has revealed Aidomo Maku almost left Millwall on loan last week. The Lions boss had said earlier, following the midweek cup defeat to Orient, the young Dubliner could well be on his way to a temporary move to elsewhere, and it very nearly happened on the transfer deadline day, according to Harris, when asked how close the attacker was to sealing a loan switch. "Oh, very," replied the manager. We talked openly about Aidomo last Tuesday evening about a development plan. I want players to be happy, and I care about my players. I talk about my players because that's the camaraderie I want to build with my players. Aidomo is a player I hope has a bright future. We really enjoy working with him. He was close to a loan, but it didn't materialise in the end, right at the end. So he comes back to us and he works with us, and we are really looking forward to helping him develop. Yeah, so not confirmed. So we kind of knew there are rumours behind the scenes. I think actually one of the journalist tweeted, it might have been Rich Corley, that the reason why we were linked with a Fulham player on loan that I told you about in the video the other day is because we were trying to get Emakhu out on loan. I don't think it's that we couldn't get a loan club for him. We wanted him to go out on loan to play and not sit in the squad, because I don't think he wants to play. He's not happy sitting on the squad. So we said, okay, but we'll need to get a replacement in. And obviously, if he's going out on loan, you don't want to buy a replacement because that would be stupid. So we tried to loan in a replacement who would probably just be happy sitting on the bench, which is kind of sad. But I mean, if you're a Premier League player and you're being paid vast sums of money, even the young players are paid a lot of money, they don't really care, which is kind of sad. Most of them don't. Like, their aspirations as a 10, 11, 12-year-old is to get a professional contract at a Premier League team to make money. And you can see some players at that level just chasing the money, trying to get a deal, moving around, like pushing for transfers and stuff. And it's kind of sad, but it is what it is, you know. And then the funny thing is, they get all that money, and what do? They spend it straight away. Spend it on a flash car, spend it on a watch, spend it on all kinds of nonsense, and then they've got no money. They don't seem to understand that money needs to last. Well, you should try and make it last for the rest of your life, and by doing that, you need to invest it and make it grow. And you literally, let's say from the age of 18, you've got about 12 years, and then an extra few if you can stomach going down the leagues. Yeah, it's not that long. You've got to literally earn a lifetime's worth of money in 15 years. And you have to make that money, 15 years worth of money last year. But, you know, it is what it is. But fair play to Maku that he wants to play. So, and I wonder what happens now that he's stuck here now. What is he going to do? He has to wait for an injury in the first team and then take his chance, because the Leyton Orient game, he was absolutely abysmal, although most of the team were. He's got, other than that, what's he got? He's got under 21, so is he going to turn up for that and put the shift in? Is he going to ask to play in those games? Then you got asked to play in the away games as well? So they don't like, the under 21's home games are usually at the Den or at the training ground, so it's easy to do that. It's easy to play in those games. But if you've got an away game in the under 21's at Fleetwood, are you going to put your hand up for that? Are you going to take the time out of your day to do that? I don't know, but we'll see. Now, moving on to this. I told you about this the other day. Bits and pieces coming through. Lions quintet, that means 5, called up for the international duty. 5 of Millwall's squad have been called up for September's international fixtures. George Saville will take to the field for Northern Ireland in UEFA Nations League matches as the Green and White Army take on Luxembourg and Bulgaria, whilst Daniel Kelly will appear for Scotland under-21s in UEFA under-21 Euro qualifiers against Spain and Malta. There will be fixtures elsewhere for young Gio Romanius and Callum Scanlon as the England Elite League squad meet Turkey away and Romania at home. And Aidomo and Maku as Republic of Ireland's under-21s are up against Turkey and Latvia. So, and there you go. And here are the dates of the games. So I think the first one is on Thursday, which is George Saville. I'm not really sure what channels are going to be on. Certainly not on mainstream TV, or if you'll be able to watch them. Maybe some of the under-21 games might be on YouTube. I think Scotland have put the odd game on YouTube, so that might be on. But the thing is with the Romania game is that's under-20s, not under-21s. The under-21s is on England FA YouTube channel. They do show the games on there, but this is under-20s, so I don't know about that. So yeah, we'll see. But if I find out that it's going to be broadcast somewhere, I'll let you know if you wanted to watch it. And there you go. And they've even put up all these photos. There you go. Isn't that great? Now, talking about, so let's go back up. Tuesday the 10th of September, England versus Romania. This is on England under 20s. That game is being held at Stockport County FC. And will you believe that is only £5 to get in? That's the adult price. The highest price ticket is £5 for a full paying adult. It's £1 for kids that are, I think, under 17, and then it's £3 for various concessions in between. So it's cheap as chips. So if you live in the Greater Manchester area and you wanted to watch Romania SA play for England, now is your chance. This is very cheap. Maybe you want to take your kids to an England game, and there you go. This is insanely cheap. So you and your two kids, you can get them for less than £10. It's insanely cheap. But there you go. So it would be interesting to have one of these games at the Den. We have hosted. I think we hosted one before. Was it under 19 game? I think we had an England B team game there as well. But obviously, with the train situation, is just a no go. It's absolutely ridiculous. But what can you do? So, moving on to this, has kind of gone under the radar a bit. This is from millwallfc.co.uk, the club's official website. Own a match-worn shirt from Mill's weekend win. Match-worn shirts from Mill's game against Sheffield Wednesday are up for auction with match-worn shirt. Supporters can bid on the shirts worn by the starting 11 and substitutes. Interesting, okay. From the fixture against the Owls, with bidding open now. Auction closes at 2 p.m. on Sunday the 7th of September. Okay. Well, that's interesting because, as far as I can tell, this is just the starting 11. I think maybe they just copied and pasted it. What we do have, though, is we've got 2 shirts that are signed by their whole squad. So I think just generic shirts. And that seems to be the number 2 bid. Number 1 bid is Ryan Leonard. So someone out there's got the penchant, maybe a female admirer of Ryan Leonard, is trying to build a shrine, maybe with a sex doll or something. I don't know what's going on there. £185 for Ryan Leonard. I guess it doesn't really matter in terms of the shirt of the player that's played the best. Like, you just want the shirt of your favourite player, because you would imagine that Casper and Romain and probably Josh Coburn, maybe Duncan Watmore, like his shirt. So, but hey ho, there you go. And like I said, it's just the starting 11. You could get Joe Bryan's shirt for £75 or George Honeyman's shirt for £75. Although I imagine George Honeyman, obviously, not the biggest of chaps. I imagine if you wanted to buy the shirt and wear it, you'd have to be a certain height yourself, the same player. And again with Jensen, he's probably he must be on like 3XL or something, 2XL. He's a tall lad. I don't know. But there you go, 12 days. Interestingly, so I'm not trying to dig anyone out, but so when they started doing this, obviously they were doing like I think the military shirts and stuff, and they were raising money for like various charities. They don't say that this is for charity specifically. No, I'm just like, maybe they're just raising money for like Millwall's media team, or to cover the costs for that. I don't know. A lot of people don't seem to want to fork out on the money for a Mill TV Plus, but they're happy to buy a shirt. And they're happy to buy a shirt that's been signed and worn by the players. So I don't know, but it would be interesting to know where the money goes, because it kind of obviously they started out doing charity auctions, and now it's kind of implied that it's a charity auction when it might not be. And if it isn't, fair enough. I think people just want a shirt. If they knew it was for charity, they might probably pay a bit more, knowing that, I'm buying this, but I'm also giving to charity at the same time. So I don't know, but there you go. Now moving on to this from the SouthwarkNews.co.uk. Millwall fans to walk around Bermondsey in West Ham shirts in honour of young goalie with a few months to live. And this isn't the first time the pair have put their rivalry aside for a good cause. So there you go. These are two Millwall fans. Do not be deceived by the picture in front of you. Two Millwall fans are about to walk around Bermondsey wearing West Ham shirts. Well, good luck with that. Maybe it might turn into a fun run. To raise money for a young goalie with a few months to live to get treatment that could save his life. Bill Slack and Nick Hart will walk from the Den to the London Stadium in aid of Oscar, who signed for West Ham United as a goalkeeper aged 9. The 14-year-old was diagnosed with a rare cancerous brain tumour a year ago. The GoFundMe page explains a lot. Since last summer, Oscar has undergone 7 surgeries. 1 round of chemo and 1 round of radiotherapy. He has now been told he has a few months to live. In what is a glimmer of hope, his family have found a groundbreaking treatment for him, but the closest place he can get is in France, and the cost is £100,000. Bill, a lifelong Millwall fan, said he found Oscar's story online and felt they could help him. This isn't the first time the pair put the historic rivalry aside for a good cause. In 2018, they helped to raise over £27 for a 3-year-old West Ham fan, Isla Canton, who was battling neuroblastoma at the time. Isla sadly passed away in 2022, but hundreds of thousands have been raised in her memory for other kids fighting the same battle. So there you go. So if you see these two walking around Bermondsey in the West Ham shirts, please don't attack them. They're doing it for a good cause. They're actually Millwall fans. So there you go. Moving on to this, just to show something. There was an under-21 game penciled in for tomorrow, away at Fleetwood, which you could have gone to, but it's now been postponed. So the next one is at the training ground, and you can't really go to them. That was Fleetwood Town at Paulfoot Farm. That's been moved to Friday the 27th. And Paulfoot Farm is kind of like a leisure centre in Fleetwood. So you can just literally walk in and watch it. Which is, that's the level that we're at. We're playing teams that play in leisure centres. Now, on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.